And hello everybody, and welcome to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field on the campus of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. Pilots and Generals getting set to begin Game 1 of their 4-game series on Monday night, July 3rd, in just a couple of moments. Well, the Pilots won 2 of their last 3, a positive series last week over the Ospreys. Looking to get their season going in the right direction. New Jersey enters play at 7-11. It's near the bottom of standings in the Wolf Division in the ACBL. But good signs over the weekend for the Pilots. It started with a triumphant come-from-behind 8-6 victory on Thursday over the Ospreys in Neptune. Then the Pilots rode solid pitching to a 2-0 victory in Game 1 of Saturday's doubleheader before falling 1-0 in Game 2. So the Pilots will look to find consistency both on the mound and in the plate here today against the Generals. The Generals enter play at 12-7. They were just swept in a 4-game set by the New Brunswick Matrix. The Matrix, one of the top teams in the ACBL. You may remember them from earlier in the year when the Pilots lost 3 of 4 to the Matrix and just narrowly avoided a 4-game sweep. The managers are exchanging lineup cards at the moment, running a little bit behind schedule here for what was originally slated to be a 5 p.m. game between the New Jersey Pilots and the Trenton Generals. It's first of 4 between these two sides. Next game will take place Friday evening down in Moody Park. And then a doubleheader slated for Saturday also at Moody in Ewing, New Jersey. Umpires and managers still convening at the moment. Pilots and Generals a couple minutes away from baseball. Thanks for listening to the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. And we'll be back in just a couple of moments with lineups and first pitch. And welcome back to Pilots Baseball. You're listening to the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field on the campus of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. Pilots and Generals set for the first of 4 on a Monday night, July 3rd. Some pre-July 4th baseball here on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. Let's get you set with the lineups for both sides this afternoon. First for the Trenton Generals, the visiting team enter play at 12-7. They were 12-3, but just got swept in a 4-game series by the first-place team in the ACBL, the New Brunswick Matrix. The Generals send out Robbie Carvelli, right fielder, to lead things off, followed by Aiden McNelly, the first baseman. Chris Reeder, the catcher, hits third. Reeder, one of the top hitters in the ACBL, batting .367 on the year. He's top 10 in both batting average and hits. Danny Cyprian plays third base and hits cleanup. Timmy Wright behind him in the 5-hole, manning left field. Jack DiClario mans center field and hits 6th. Batting 7th as the designated hitter, it's Greg Cristino. And then batting 8th is Logan Moat, the shortstop, and his twin brother, one spot behind him in the batting order, and a few steps to his left in the infield. It's Christian Moat, batting 9th at second base. And the Generals will send to the mound right-hander Connor Byrne. Big number 34, lanky 6'1", 185-pound kid will be a freshman at Siena College, native of Basking Ridge, New Jersey, just about a half hour or so from Drew University, where today's game is slated to take place. Byrne enters play 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA. This will be his second start and fourth appearance on the year. Meanwhile, for the Pilots, positive development for New Jersey. They took the 3-game series over the weekend against the Ocean Ospreys, winning 2 of 3, although they do enter play today on a 1-game losing streak. Mike Kalb sends up Kevin Hager, the shortstop, to lead things off, followed by Ethan Dodabo, power-hitting catcher, elevated to the 2-hole for this afternoon's game. Tyler Stone hits third in center field. Stone enters play with the most hits in the ACBL at 22. Nate Miller, after a stint at third base in Game 2 of Saturday's doubleheader, plays right field and hits fourth. Liam Horton back to the hot corner, hitting fifth. Jack Caridi over at first base, batting sixth. Tony Silva, the jack-of-all-trades man, goes to second base and bats seventh. Robert Klawans playing left field, hitting eighth. And Alex Turner rounds things out as a designated hitter, batting ninth. And throwing his warm-up pitches on the rubber just now is Hayden Streichars. The 5'10", 175-pound left-hander will get the ball today for Mike Kalb's New Jersey Pilots. Streichars set to make his second start of the year. His fourth appearance, enters play with a 1-1 record and a 9.81 ERA across 11 innings pitched. He's walked 7 batters, struck out 13, and allowed 15 hits. Streichars looked pretty good in his last outing Thursday in relief. 4 innings of 3-run ball and struck out 8 batters en route to a Pilots win. Streichars completing his warm-up pitches on the mound. Ethan Dodabo fires the throw down to second, and we are ready for baseball at Doc Young Field at the campus of Drew University. Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Pilots and the Generals. Robbie Carvelli, right-hand hitting right fielder, gets comfortable in the batter's box. Streichars waits on the mound, showing that third base side of the rubber. The southpaw digging his cleats into the mound, now stands tall on the rubber. Carvelli at the dish. Streichars looks home. Into the windup, the left-hander kicks and deals. A first pitch fastball that clips the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. And we are underway for baseball. First pitch time, 5:09 p.m. First pitch temperature, 90 degrees. The 0-1 skips into the plate and heads to the backstop on a fastball, 1-1. It is a sticky, humid 90 degrees this afternoon at Doc Young. Every bit of 90 degrees. It is a hot one today. Streichars kicks and deals the 1-1, and it's at the knees for a strike on a fastball, 1-2. Blue skies overhead with a smattering of white clouds. Rain in the forecast via thunderstorms later on this evening. The 1-2 reached for and poked down to first. Fielded by Caridi, calls off Streichars and steps on first for out number 1. That'll send up Aiden McNelly. Right-hand hitting first baseman digs on in. McNelly hitting .333 on the season. His 11 RBI lead the Generals, and that's good for 5th in the ACBL, tied with Ethan Dodabo, the Pilots catcher. Just getting underway here at Doc Young Field, game 1 of a 4-game set between the Pilots and Generals. Streichars misses up and away with a first pitch changeup, 1-0. One batter into this game, no score between these two sides. Pilots enter play at 7-11. Generals at 12-7, yet riding a 4-game losing streak. 1 out, nobody on in the away half of the first. Streichars toes the rubber and deals the 1-0. That's poured over for a strike. Fastball right down the chute, 1-1. McNelly, then Chris Reeder here for the Generals in the first, as the 1-1 is fouled straight back. It deflects off to Dabo, and Streichars ahead of his second consecutive hitter to begin this game, 1-2. The stocky 5'10" left-hander toes the third base side of the rubber. and twists and deals the 1-2 pitch. Low and in. McNelly shuffles his feet away from the fastball, and it's 2-2. Strycharz looked really good in relief Thursday evening against the Ospreys. He came in for the bullpen in place of Tyler Stone. 2-2. Fastball up and away, and the counts run full. Well, after Stone gave the Pilots 5 solid innings, Strycharz was able to shut the door on the Ospreys, struck out 8 hitters over 4 innings. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball lined right field, down for a base hit in front of Nate Miller. And the Generals have a 1-out base runner in the first, courtesy of Aiden McNelly, who goes the other way for a base hit. And that'll bring up Chris Reeder, right-hand hitting catcher. Climbs in with McNelly aboard at first and 1 away in the top of the first. No score, Pilots and Generals. Just getting underway. It is a sticky, hot day for baseball at Doc Young Field. Series opener, first of 4 between the Pilots and Generals. Short lead on at first for McNelly. Strycharz working out of the stretch for the first time today. Deals home. And the fastball sails up and away for a ball, 1-0. Chris Reeder, .367 hitter, 18 hits on the year and 49 at-bats. Strycharz looks towards McNelly at first. And he'll throw on over. McNelly back in standing. Reeder steps back into the box. Strycharz comes set from the third base side of the rubber, deals, and it's a fastball down the middle for a strike. 1-1. Pilots short on pitchers today, so it's imperative for Strycharz to fare well and go deep in this ballgame. McNelly leads off first with 1 away in the first. Strycharz with the pitch home, and it's grounded towards third. Fielded on a hop by Horton, goes to second for 1, and Silva will not make a return throw. So the Pilots get the lead runner on the force out, and 2 outs. Now it's Reeder aboard at first, swapping places with McNelly, and Danny Cyprian, the third baseman, will dig on in. Pilots wearing their home red uniforms today. It's red tops, blue lettering and blue numbering with Pilots written in script across the front. Red caps with blue bills. Reeder leads off first with 2 away. Strycharz slings the first pitch home, and it's a strike with a fastball right down the middle. 0-1. Run you through the defensive alignment here for the Pilots this afternoon after the 0-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 1-1. Bob Clawans, Tyler Stone, and Nate Miller left to right in the outfield for New Jersey. The aforementioned Liam Horton mans the hot corner, with Kevin Hager and Tony Silva up the middle at short and second. Strycharz deals the 1-1, and that slider clips the letters for a strike, and it's 1-2. And then Jack Curity at first, with Ethan Dodabo doing the catching for Hayden Strycharz, the southpaw on the mound this afternoon. Reeder leads off first in a scoreless game. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Cyprian chases in the dirt, and Hayden Strycharz works the scoreless top of the first, working around a 1-out single. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Heading to the bottom of the first. No score between the Pilots and Generals. You're listening to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. Jared Greenspan from Doc Young Field at the campus of Drew University. First of 4 between the Pilots and Generals. No score as the Pilots set to bat in the bottom of the first. Hayden Strycharz worked in easy-peasy 1-2-3 top half of the first. Now let's run you through the lineup that Mike Kalb will send out there for his Pilots this evening. Kevin Hager leads off at shortstop. Ethan Didabo, the lefty, catching and hitting second. Tyler Stone bats third in center field. Nate Miller cleans things up in right field. Liam Horton bats fifth at third base. Jack Caridi hitting sixth and playing first base. Tony Silva batting seventh at second base. Robert Klawans hits eighth in left field. And Alex Turner, the DH, hits ninth. Generals send to the mound the big right-hander Connor Burns, 6'1", 185 pounds. He'll be a freshman at Siena College in the fall. This is his second start and fourth appearance of the season for the Generals. Enters play 1-0 with a 4.5 ERA. Has allowed 7 hits, 8 walks, and struck out 8 batters in 6 innings pitched. Well, Byrne completes his warm-up pitches. Hager, the right-hand hitting shortstop, strides towards the batter's box. And the Generals, wearing their away uniforms, that's neon orange tops with black lettering and black numbering. Generals written in black script across the front of those neon orange unis. Black caps and orange bills, and the logo smattered in orange and black across the top. No score. Pilots and Generals in the bottom of the first. Kevin Hager, right-hand hitter, digs on in. Byrne out of the windup. His first pitch of the day is a fastball that rides high. A ball and no strikes. Hager hitting 178 on the year, but he's fared much better of late. Byrne kicks and deals the 1-0. And that clips the inside corner with a fastball, 1-1. Hager went 2 for 6 with a walk across 2 games in the doubleheader on Saturday. Here comes Burns' 1-1. Fastball swung on and popped out wide of first, a foul ball sailing over the Pilots' first base dugout, 1-2. Byrne last pitched Thursday night against the Matrix in relief. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Hager. Rides up and away with a hard, firm fastball, and it's 2-2. In that appearance against the Matrix, Byrne really struggled. Pitched just 1 inning and was tagged for 3 runs despite giving up just 1 hit. The 2-2 to Hager. Ground ball to third, and it goes under the glove of right, trickling into left field. And Kevin Hager is aboard on an E5 to get things going for the Pilots. And that'll bring up the left-hand hitting catcher Ethan Didabo, moved up to second in the order. Has mostly batted 5th or 6th this season for New Jersey. Hager aboard at first. He's always a threat to go. Byrne working out of the stretch for the first time today. His first pitch home to the catcher is just off the outside corner with a fastball for a ball, 1-0. Well, command can be an issue for Byrne. He walked 5 of the 8 batters he faced, as there's a throw over to check on Hager is in safely. 5 of the 8 batters that he faced in that June 29th outing against the Matrix a couple of days ago. The 1-0, and Didabo with a big rip and a miss swings under the fastball, and it's 1-1. Didabo, then Tyler Stone on deck for the Pilots in the bottom of the first. No score, Pilots and Generals just getting going here at Doc Young Field. Burns comes set. The 1-1, line drive right field, base hit for Ethan Didabo. Hager will pull into second base, moves up 90 feet, and the Pilots have the offense brewing here in the first. 2 on and nobody out, and Tyler Stone will step on in. So Didabo moved up in the lineup, validates the conviction that Mike Kalp had with a base hit, and here comes Tyler Stone. Burns out of the stretch, looks towards second, first pitch home. Stone lays down a bunt, and it's a beauty. It hugs the line at third, and it's going to stay fair. And the Pilots have the bases loaded with nobody out. We've seen Tyler Stone do that a couple of times before. He is a great bunter, he gets it down in picture-perfect fashion, and the bases are loaded for the Pilots with nobody out. Hager at third, Didabo at second, Stone at first. Burns' first pitch to Nate Miller is a breaking ball up and in for a ball, 1-0. No score, Pilots, Generals, bottom of the first. Pilots looking to strike first. Connor Byrne is in a jam. The 1-0 to Miller. Fastball swung on and missed, 1-1. Miller, big right-handed hitter, hitting .261 on the season. Went 1 for 5 on Sunday across the pair of games. Byrne out of the windup with the bases loaded. The 1-1 fouled off straight back off the netting, and it's 1-2. A big opportunity for the Pilots to get some momentum. The offense was shut out in Game 2 of the doubleheader over the weekend. Looking to break through early against Connor Byrne. 1-2 to Miller. Swing and a miss. Miller goes down swinging for a big first out for Connor Byrne. So the baton pass to Liam Horton, bases still loaded. Hager on at third after reaching on the error. Dodabo singled, he's on second. And Stone aboard at first after the bunt single. Horton, right-hand hitter, climbs on in. Byrne out of the windup. The first pitch is a breaking ball, popped up, left center field, not hit too deep. Over is DeClerico, along with the left fielder Wright. He'll make the catch. Hager will not tag as Wright fires it into the cutoff man, McNelly, the first baseman. It's a big second out, and now the Pilots are in danger of wasting a golden opportunity. It's all up to Jack Caridi, left-hand hitting first baseman, climbs on in. Pilots had the bases loaded, nobody out in a scoreless game in the bottom of the first. And 5 pitches later, it's the bases loaded and 2 outs. Byrne's first pitch to Caridi is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Byrne out of the windup, senses a way out of the inning. The 0-1 to Caridi. Fouled straight back into the netting, and it's 0-2. And just like that, the Generals' right-hander is a strike away from sidestepping significant damage here in the first. Bases full of Pilots, 0-2 the count. Connor Byrne from the windup deals home to Jack Caridi. And it's a fastball just a little bit low, 1-2. Tony Silva would be next if Caridi can keep the inning alive and put the Pilots on the board. 1-2 the count. Bases are loaded with 2 away. Byrne with the pitch. Swinging a chopper foul up the first base side towards Silva in the on-deck circle. And Caridi able to stay alive. Caridi hitting .149 on the season. Would love to come through here for the Pilots. 1-2 the count. Byrne again out of the windup. Fires home to Caridi. Up and away with a fastball, ball 2. So this at-bat, 5 pitches deep, no resolution. Caridi hanging tough. Bases are loaded. No score, bottom of the first. Pilots trying not to squander an opportunity here. Byrne with the 2-2. Just up and away with a fastball, ball 3, and the count is run full. And Connor Byrne is no place to put Jack Caridi. Bases full of Pilots. Tony Silva waits on deck. Connor Byrne trying to escape damage. The 3-2 to Caridi. Swing and a miss. He chased strike 3. Goes after the fastball up and away. And Connor Byrne pulls a Houdini act. Pilots had the bases loaded, nobody out. They do not score. No score between the Pilots and Generals as we head to the second. We'll be right back on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball here on the Pilots Radio Network. No score between the Pilots and Generals here as in the top of the second. Pilots wasted a golden opportunity to strike first in the home half of the first inning, loaded the bases on a couple of hits and an error with nobody out, and yet the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Pilots order could not come through. So we're still scoreless here from Doc Young, game 1 of a 4-game set between the Pilots and Generals. Hayden Strichars towing the rubber, tossing his warm-up pitches just now. And we'll see how the Pilots rebound mentally from that first inning, stranding the bases loaded. This is a team that has been starved for offense for much of the year. They lost 1-0 in Game 2 of Saturday's doubleheader. Would love to have struck first here today with a couple of runs against a good Generals team, but could not do it. So it's up to Hayden Strichars to keep on throwing up zeros on the scoreboard here in the top of the second. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Generals lineup against a left-hander. That's Timmy Wright, Jake DeClerico, and Greg Cristano. 5, 6, and 7 in the Generals order. No score, Pilots and Generals here in the top of the second. The right-handed hitter Timmy Wright digs on in. Wright, a .382 hitter on the season. He has been splendid for the Generals this year. Strichars takes a breath, readies himself, and now steps on the third base side of the rubber with that left-footed cleat. Into the full windup. His first pitch of the second is a fastball that tails up and away for a ball. 1-0. Strichars looked pretty sharp in the first inning. His 1-0 to Wright, missing outside with the fastball for a ball. 2-0. Gave up a 1-out single rather to McNelly. Here's the 2-0, swing and a miss underneath a fastball. 2-1. So Strichars gave up that 1-out single to McNelly, but besides that, set down the top of the Generals order with relative ease. Here comes the 2-1, just a little bit below the knees. 3-1. Strichars into the windup, the 3-1 to Wright. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. Well, with the count full on Timmy Wright, it bears mentioning that he has 11 walks this season compared to just 6 strikeouts. You're really not going to get Timmy Wright to stray too far out of the zone. 3-2. Lifted down the first base line. Caridi hoping for a play. Nears the side wall, and it's out of reach. We'll do it again. Pretty ample foul territory here at Doc Young Field, especially wide of first and wide of third. Once you get down in the corner in right field and left field, foul territory a little more scarce. The 3-2 sails up and away with the changeup, ball 4. So on cue, Timmy Wright lays off the ball 4 pitch and heads on to first with a leadoff base runner for the Generals here in the second. It was a 17-pitch first inning for Hayden Strichars. Already has thrown 7 here in the second after 1 batter. Jake DeClerico, right-hand hitting center fielder, climbs on in. Right aboard at first, nobody out in a scoreless game in the second. Strichars out of the stretch, slings home and misses up and away with a fastball for ball 1. Big lead on at first for Wright. He's a threat to go. Strichars looks towards first, deals home. DeClerico flashes bunt, pulls back, and takes a fastball high for ball 2. Strichars normally has pretty sharp command. He walked just 1 batter across 4 innings on Thursday. 7 walks in 11 innings on the season entering today. Looks towards right at first, and he'll throw over, right back in standing up. Liam Horton, the third baseman, pinched in at third. The 2-0 upstairs with a fastball, ball 3, and suddenly the strike zone has evaded Hayden Strichars here in the second. Greg Cristino, the designated hitter, waits on deck. Here comes the 3-0. A little high with a fastball, ball 4, and back-to-back walks have the Generals cooking in the second Runners at first and second with nobody out against Hayden Strychars. So here comes Greg Cristino, the right-hand hitting designated hitter, climbs on in. Speed on the bases with Wright at second and DeClerico at first with nobody out in the second. Strychars out of the stretch, slings the first pitch home, and it's a fastball fouled straight back. 0-1. So Strychars, after throwing 5 straight pitches out of the strike zone, gets strike 1 on a foul ball. Strychars comes set, looks towards second, and now deals the 0-1. And the fastball a little high for ball 1. Wright's aboard at second. He walked on a 7-pitch at-bat. DeClerico on at first after a 4-pitch walk. Greg Cristino looking to get the Generals going in a scoreless game in the second. Strychars with the 2-0 pitch. A long pause. Looks towards second, finally deals home. And he misses in that same spot, a little high and a little outside, and it's 2-1. Two and 1 the count. Runners lead off first and second. Strychars with a look towards first, now looks towards second. Silva's covering the bag, now deals home, and it's lifted foul right field side, tailing out of play. 2-2. Two and 2 the count. Strychars could really use a strikeout here. Middle infield shaded towards the second base bag, keeping an eye on Wright. The 2-2 pitch, up and away. Dabo slides to his right to keep that one from sailing to the backstop, and the counts run full. Third full count through 7 batters for Hayden Strychars, in danger of walking the bases loaded. Cristino steps back in at right foot on the very back of that batter's box. 3 and 2 the count. Strychars comes set. Twists home. And it's sliced foul down the right field side, out of play. Still 3 and 2. The second 7-pitch at bat for the inning that Strychars has been forced to contend with. Looking to put away Cristino. 2 on, nobody out in the scoreless game in the second. Generals threatening against the Pilots left-hander. Strychars comes set. The 3-2. Line drive right field, tailing towards the corner. That's down for a base hit. Oh, it's just foul. Just a little bit foul as it sliced near that 327-foot sign and away from the right fielder, Nate Miller. A mulligan there for the Pilots. Did not miss by much. There's no chalk all the way down the right field line, so it's up to the discretion of the home plate umpire. 3 and 2 the count. Pitch number 8 of this at-bat upcoming. Runners back to first and second. Strychars working hard here in the second inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to third, and it's underneath Horton in the left field base hit. Right digging for third, going to be waved around. Clawan's throw to the plate on a hop. The tag, he's out at the plate. Dabo dropped the ball on the transfer as the back runner DeClerico slid into third. A great one-hop strike from Bob Clawans in left field to keep the Generals off the board for the moment. An aggressive send by the Generals. And they run themselves into an out. Runners on the corners. DeClerico went to third on the throw. Cristino aboard at first after the single. And Logan Mott, right-hand hitting shortstop, steps in. Strychars out of the stretch. Looks towards first. Now deals home. And Mott chops it to third. Could be 2. Horton will go to first for 1. And Caridi stays on the bag for out number 2. Nice play by Horton. He looked back the runner DeClerico, making sure he didn't try to break for the plate. Cristino heads on down to second. Mott retired, and now it's up to his twin brother, Christian Mott, to get the job done. The Pilots stranded the bases loaded in the first. Generals waste almost on the verge of wasting an opportunity in the second. Strike Charge's first pitch tails low and in for ball 1. Runners lead off second and third with 2 away in a scoreless game in the top of the second. Christian Mote is the batter. Strike Charge kicks and deals the 1-0, and it's over for a strike with a fastball 1-1. Generals at first and second, nobody out, and Cristino got a base hit. But Bob Klawans was able to throw out Timmy Wright at the plate. Strike Charge out of the windup, 1-1. Low and in goes to the backstop, and this will bring in the first run of the game. DeClerico scampers in as the ball got by Dodabo. The back runner Cristino into third, and just like that, the Generals do strike first. It's 1-0 Trenton. So Strike Charge will look to limit the damage. 2-1 now, the count to Christian Mott, a 154 hitter. Strike Charge twists and deals. Lifted in the air, right center field. Stone over in the gap with the right fielder Miller. It's the center fielder Stone who calls, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Well, the Generals score first on the wild pitch. 1-0 Trenton as we head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. You're listening to Pilots Baseball. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball. Bottom 2, Pilots and Generals, 1-0 Trenton on top. Tony Silva, right-handed hitter, steps on in. Connor Byrne, right-hander, toes the rubber to begin his second inning of work. Into the windup, and he deals the first pitch home, and it's a fastball lined to short. Picked on the backhand by Mott. Throw over to first on a hop. Dug out by McNelly for out number 1. Nicely done on both ends for the 6-3 putout to begin the second. That'll bring up Rob Klawans, right-handed hitter, the left fielder batting 8th. Byrne with the first offering. And he misses low and away with a changeup. Ball 1. Pilots had a golden opportunity to capitalize against Byrne in the first. And the bases loaded and nobody out. The 1-0. Dips below the knee. Catches the knees with a strike. I do not think that was a strike at all. That was well below the knees. But it's called a strike on the curveball. Here's the 1-1. Curveball popped up. Right field. Coming on is Carvelli in foul territory. Makes the running catch for the second out. It's a 2 up, 2 down. For Connor Byrne, and it'll be Cole Palmieri serving as the designated hitter today. Right-handed hitter digs on in. Byrne working out of the windup. Stake to a 1-0 lead with 2 out and nobody on. First pitch up and in sends Palmieri bending backwards out of the way A little chin music to buzz the right-handed hitter. It's 1-0. Palmieri, 3 for 19 on the year. The 1-0. Right down the chute with the fastball for a strike, 1-1. Burn out of the windup. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball, first base side towards the Pilots dugout. Here comes McNelly hoping for a play, but it's out of reach. 1-2. Well, in that first inning, Pilots, as we said, had the bases loaded, nobody out. Could not bring a run home. A strikeout, a pop-up, and another strikeout. And New Jersey squandered a solid chance to score. And the Generals struck against Hayden Streichars in the top of the second, bringing home a run on a wild pitch. 1-2 to Cole Palmieri. Lifted foul, first base side, tailing into the seats, still 1-2. Kevin Hager would be next if Palmieri can reach and give the Pilots a 2-out base runner. Byrne working quickly. Here comes the 1-2. Fouled straight back to the netting toward me, and it stays 1-2. So Palmieri is fouling off a couple of pitches, working a nice turn at bat since falling behind in the count 1-2. Byrne threw 21 pitches in the first inning. Threw just 4 to the first 2 batters here in the second. Palmieri making him work. Here's the 1-2. Popped up over my head, a foul ball again. 3 straight foul balls off the bat of the designated hitter, Cole Palmieri. Infield, outfield, straight up against the right-hand hitter. The 1-2. Up and away, missed with the slider, and it's 2-2. This at-bat, 7 pitches deep, still no resolution. Byrne into the windup, 2-2. Popped foul over my head, and we'll do it again. So Cole Palmieri really making Byrne work. He's thrown double the amount of pitches to Palmieri that he did to Silva and Klawans combined. Takes an extra moment to toe the rubber again. Working from the first base side, kicks and deals. 2-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 with a fastball. So Byrne wins the battle, works a 1-2-3 second. 1-0 Generals as we head to the third. You're listening to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Doc Young Field at Drew University. Pilots and Generals in a 1-0 game. Trenton on top as Hayden Streichars readies to begin his third inning of work. He'll face the top of the Generals batting order. Carvelli, McNelly, and Reeder. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Generals, beginning with the right fielder Robbie Carvelli. Carvelli, 256 hitter, 0 for 1 on the day, bounced out to first to open the game. He'll be a freshman at Lehigh in the fall. Streichars the southpaw, steps on the third base side of the rubber, looks on towards Ethan Dudabo, his catcher for the side. Now twists and deals the first pitch home, and it's a fastball that sails to the backstop on a fly. 1-0. Streichars has been pretty good through 2 innings. He's allowed a couple of base runners, 2 walks, and 2 singles. Bailed out by his defense. The 1-0. Slash towards second. Fielded on a hop by Silva. Sees it into his glove and tosses to first in time for the first out here in the top of the third. That'll bring up Aiden McNelly, the first baseman. Worked a nice turn at bat in the first. A 6-pitch at bat that ended in a single to right field. Strychar's working out of the windup with nobody on. The first pitch home is a fastball that tails low and in by McNelly's feet. Ball 1. Strychar's with the 1-0. That fastball clips the corner for a strike, 1-1. It was not caught by Ethan Dadavo. Went to the backstop and off the catcher's mitt. Nonetheless, still called a strike. Strychar's fires the 1-1. And it rides a little high with a fastball, 2-1. Strychar's has battled command through 2 1/3 so far tonight. And when he's missed high. Upstairs with the fastball or up and away. Here comes the 2-1. Just a little bit low with the changeup, 3-1. We saw the home plate umpire call a really low curveball for a strike. Strychar's didn't get that call. The 3-1 is a fastball right down the middle for a strike, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled off straight back on the fastball, and we'll do it again. Fourth full count through 11 batters for Hayden Strychar's, working a pretty high pitch count here with 1 out in the third. 3-2 pitch. Popped foul over my head. Dadavo sheds his mask, but it's out of play, and we'll do it again. We've seen some long counts on both sides in this game. Just recently, Cole Palmieri had a 9-pitch battle to end the bottom of the second. The 3-2 pitch. Popped foul straight back, and we'll do it again. So this at-bat, 8 pitches deep. Number 9 incoming from Strychar's, who's having to work really hard on a hot and humid day, 90 degrees at first pitch here in Madison. The 3-2. Fastball misses upstairs, ball 4, and McNelly wins the war. He's on base for the second time today with a 1-out walk. And that'll bring up Chris Reeder, right-hand hitting catcher. McNelly aboard at first with 1 out. Generals on top, 1-0 here in the third. Strychar's will work out of the stretch with the runner aboard at first. Looks the runner's way, and now fires the first pitch home, and it's a fastball popped up left center field. Tyler Stone, the center fielder, angles in and to his right, drifts and makes the one-handed catch for a high second out. So a much-needed 1 pitch out for Strychar's, who was at 40 pitches before this inning, now past 50. Danny Ciprian, third baseman, right-handed hitter, digs in and watches the first pitch breaking ball sail a little high for ball 1. McNelly aboard at first, and time is called. Strychar's towed the rubber before Ciprian, the batter, was ready. Moderate-sized lead at first for the runner McNelly. Strychar's out of the stretch, looks towards first, now deals home. And he misses up and away with the fastball, ball 2. Ciprian struck out on a 4-pitch at-bat in the first. The lone strikeout victim of the day, registered by Strychar's. 1-0 Generals here in the top half of the third. 2-0. Up and away, ball 3. Timmy Wright would be next if Ciprian can keep the inning alive. Strychar's takes an extra beat before stepping on the rubber. McNelly leads off first with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, and Ciprian lays off 4 consecutive pitches and finds himself aboard up first. That's the 4th walk issued today by Hayden Strychar's. 2 in the second, now 2 in the third. And the command issues will coax a meeting at the mound between Strycharz and his battery mate, the catcher Ethan Dodabo. Timmy Wright will be the batter. He drew the first of those 4 walks, leading off the second. Was eventually thrown out at the plate. A one-hop seed delivered by Robert Klawans. McNelly leads off second. Cyprian leading off first. Generals looking for more, already at 1-0 here in the third. Strycharz from the stretch. First pitch home to Wright is a fastball at the letters for a strike. 0-1. I mentioned Wright has a great eye, now with 12 walks on the year to lead the Generals. Strycharz comes home with the 0-1. Breaking ball snaps in for a strike, and it's 0-2. So whatever Dodabo said to Strycharz at the impromptu mound meeting certainly appears to be working. 0-2 the count. Strycharz with the pitch. In the dirt, smothered nicely by Dodabo. Wright lays off, and it's 1-2. Generals have scored the lone run of the day back on a wild pitch in the second inning. Strycharz looking to keep it 1-0. Runners lead off first and second. Silva dances towards second base, and Strycharz will step off to keep McNelly nearby. And now steps off the rubber again, trying to get comfortable. 1-2 the count to the batter Wright. Here's the pitch. Popped up on the infield. Now shallow center. Silva, the second baseman, drifting back, makes the two-handed catch to retire the side. So Strycharz walks a couple, but sidesteps trouble to pitch a scoreless third. No runs, no hits. 2 left for the Generals, who are up 1-0, heading to the bottom of the third. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. 1-0 Generals as the Pilots get set to bat in the home half of the third. Connor Burns standing on the mound ready to begin his third inning of work. And he'll face the top of the Pilots order second time through, beginning with the right-hand hitting shortstop, Kevin Hager. Hager climbs on in. Burn, the 6'1" presence, looms on the mound. Now toes the first base side of the rubber, kicks and fires the first pitch of the bottom of the third to Kevin Hager, who lines one pretty well left field, chasing right over towards the line, and foul territory, can't get to it. And it's a long foul ball for strike number 1. Hager reached on an error in the first, stranded at third base when the Pilots left the bases loaded. It was the best chance the Pilots had to score so far today. 0-1 the count to Hager. Burn out of the windup, deals home. And Hager lines that one towards third, and it's by right on the backhand into left field. Hager rounds first. He'll hold on there as the shortstop, Logan Mott, got to that ball quickly with a sliding stop in shallow left field. And so Hager aboard for the second time today. This one will go down as a base knock. So at the top of the order, looking to get something started for the Pilots, down 1-0 in the third. And not before a meeting will commence at the mound between the entirety of the Generals infield. We'll see what this has in store for Connor Burns' future in this game. Burn has been very good so far tonight. Prior to that Hager single, had set down the last 6 batters he faced, and it's a very quick mound visit. As the infielders retreat, Ethan Didabo, left-hand hitting catcher, climbs on in. Didabo is one of 4 catchers on the Pilots roster, but he has very quickly earned the lion's share of playing time behind the plate. Burn out of the stretch with Hager aboard at first and nobody out in a 1-0 game. First pitch home to Didabo comes low and in for a ball, smothered by Reeder behind the dish, 1-0. Cole Palmieri, who's in the lineup as a DH tonight, is a catcher. 1-0 the count. Hager with a big lead. Burns pitch over for a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. 1-1. Well, Palmieri is a catcher. So is Jack Caridi, the first baseman. As is Will Finley, who's not here this afternoon. But it's pretty much been Didabo all the time, except for Finley in one of the games on double headers. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball low and in, climbing in on his hands. And it's 1-2. Hager aboard at first after the single to lead off the inning. Burn ahead of Didabo, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Inside, goes to the backstop. Hager did not read it well. He thought the pitch hit Didabo, or either clanked off his bat for a foul ball, and so Kevin Hager will stay put at first base. Missed opportunity there for the Pilots, but Hager has great speed. Wonder if he'll try and get that base back here. 2-2 now the count to the left-hand hitting catcher. Burn, the right-hander, from the first base side of the rubber. Throws over to first wisely as Hager had a big lead, and Hager's back in safely. Can already tell that Hager wants to get that base back. Tyler Stone waits on deck. The 2-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 called with a fastball, and Didabo goes down looking. So in comes Tyler Stone, center fielder. Reached on a bunt, hit his last time up, a beautiful bunt that hugged the third baseline and loaded the bases for the Pilots. The third baseman, Cyprian, playing even with the bag at third. First pitch to Stone, breaking ball, chopped foul wide to third. Clanks off the netting in front of the Generals dugout, 0-1. Stone in the midst of a fantastic season for the Pilots. He has been one of the best hitters in the ACBL. Entered the day batting .386, the 6th highest average in the league. There goes Hager. 1-0 is poked left center field. DeClerico over in the gap on his horse, makes the running catch, and Hager will sprint on back to first. Well done by the center fielder, Jake DeClerico, ambling far to his right in the gap to make the nice running play. 2 outs now. Hager still aboard at first. Generals on top, 1-0 in the third as Nate Miller, right-handed hitter, climbs on in. Throw to first, Hager in standing. Hager singled down the third base line to begin the inning. Hasn't been able to advance. First pitch to Miller, line drive left field, hooking foul down the line. And it's 0-1. Miller struck out swinging with the bases loaded and nobody outs in the first. One of 3 Pilots to strand 3 base runners in that first inning. 0-1 the count. Burn working from the stretch. Hager with the lead off first. Another throw over and Hager back in standing. Burn paying very close attention to Hager as he nurses the 1-run lead. The 0-1, wave and a miss at a slider in the dirt, 0-2. Burn claps his hand together. The 0-2, swinging a chopper up the first base side towards Liam Horton in the on-deck circle, still 0-2, and we'll do it again. 0-2 the count. There goes Hager. Horton takes high. The throw down sails to the left of the second base bag. Hager swipes the base. Christian Mott did well just to keep that ball from tailing into right center field. A stolen base for Kevin Hager. Now the Pilots have the tying run at second base. With 2 away, 1-2 now the count to Nate Miller. Byrne looks towards second, deals home. And Miller goes down swinging. He chases the pitch low and away for strike 3. Pilots waste a leadoff single. They leave Hager on at second. We're a third of the way through at Doc Young. 1-0 Generals heading to the fourth. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. 1-0 Generals as we begin play here in the top of the fourth inning. Hayden Streichars begins his fourth inning of work. He's thus far hurled 3 innings of 1-run ball. It could have been worse. The Generals have stranded multiple runners on base in each of the past 2 innings and have stranded at least 1 runner in each of the 3 frames so far. Jake DeClerico, right-hand hitting center fielder, digs in. Streichars' first pitch is bunted up the third base side, and this is going to be a base hit. For the second time today, a hitter takes advantage of the third baseman playing well back. First it was Tyler Stone taking advantage of Ciprian. Now it's DeClerico taking advantage of Horton, who is playing behind the third base bag over at third. So a lead-off bunt single, an immediate base runner for Streichars to contend with. First pitch from Streichars comes in, a breaking ball to Greg Cristino at the knees, 0-1. DeClerico speed aboard at first. He's a threat to go on base for the second time today. Streichars from the stretch deals home, and Cristino flies this one right center field. Miller coming over to his left, dives, can't make the sliding catch. It goes out of his glove. His throw to second is late to Silva. DeClerico has a hold, he'll scamper on into second. Miller gave it a valiant effort, had it in his glove, but as he hit the ground, the ball popped out. It's a base knock, and the Pilots are in trouble in the fourth. Runners aboard at first and second, and nobody out. Streichars in another jam. Streichars out of the stretch. The first pitch home is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike to the right-hand hitting Logan Mott. Mott came to the plate with runners at second and third in the second inning and just 1 out, bounced out to third base. They'll now have a quick meeting with the third base coach discussing what to do here. You have to wonder if a bunt is in the cards, even though Mott already has a strike on him. Entered the day hitting 143. There's 4 for 28. Right-hand hitter steps back into the batter's box. Horton, the third baseman, even with the bag at third. First baseman Caridi pinched in, not holding on the runner Cristino at first. Middle infield and double play depth, with Hager shaded towards the runner DeClerico at second. 0-1 the count to Mott. Streichars from the stretch comes set. Looks back towards second. Now deals... Oh no, now he steps off. A late change of heart. He sees the runners back. Toes the rubber again. Now comes to the belt. 0-1 the count to Mott. Here's the pitch. Bunt is on. Bunted to Streichars. He'll go to third, and he throws it wide down the line. Here comes DeClerico. Will come on in to score the game's second run. Cristino on to third. Mott into second. Streichars threw it away. It would have been close at third base. I think DeClerico might have gotten in there even with a good throw. And the error will bring home the game's second run. It's 2-0 Trenton. So runners now at second and third. Pilots will bring the infield in here with nobody out in the fourth. Christian Mott, right-handed hitter, digs in. Streichars from the stretch. Runners lead off second and third. First pitch, fastball, bounce to short. Handled by Hager. He'll throw to first for out number 1. So the infield in pays dividends there for the Pilots. Streichars gets a big first out. And that flips things over to the top of the batting order for the Generals, third time through. Robbie Carvelli, who's 0 for 2 on the evening, steps on in. The infield still in. Streichars entered this inning at 60 pitches thrown. His first one to Carvelli. Fastball line to third, caught by Horton. He'll step on third in time for the 5-3 unassisted double play. Great play by Liam Horton. Not only snared the line drive, but had the wherewithal to step on third and catch Cristino straying too far off the bag. So the Pilots allow just 1 run. Streichars strands a couple. We're heading to the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 Generals. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. Pilots find themselves in a 2-0 hole against the Generals as New Jersey sets to bat in the bottom of the fourth. New pitcher for the Generals is Aaron Winzinger. The big 6'4", 200-pound right-hander will toe the rubber to face the Pilots in the bottom of the fourth. That means the day is over for Connor Byrne, who went 3 strong shutout innings, allowing just 3 hits. So Winzinger will face 5, 6, and 7 in the New Jersey batting order, beginning with the right-hand hitting Liam Horton, who made that fine defensive play to bail out Hayden Streichars to close out the top of the fourth. The line drive right to Horton at third, caught it on a fly, and then stepped on the bag, beating the base runner Cristino back for the 5-5 unassisted double play. Winzinger out of the stretch. His first pitch to Horton is a fastball down the chute for a strike. 0-1. Winzinger, a tall, imposing presence on the mound, comes in at 6'4", 200 pounds. Toes the far first base side of the rubber, much farther than the previous pitcher Connor Byrne. Here's the 0-1. And Horton takes at the knees for a strike, 0-2, so the strike zone really expanding vertically by the home plate umpire, calling things at the letters and at the knees. Horton didn't think the last one was a strike. Behind in the count, 0-2. Winzinger's pitch. Low and away, goes to the backstop on the off-speed, and it's 1-2. Winzinger with long flowing hair peeking out from underneath his hat. Does not work from the windup. Just claps his hands together and hurls home. Horton fouls off the 1-2 down the right field side out of play. And we'll do it again. Horton, one of 3 pilots to strand the bases loaded back in the home half of the first. 1-2 offering. Chopped foul at the plate off Horton's left ankle. He hobbles around to retrieve the baseball, which rolled about 25 feet up the first base line. And he'll take his time as he strides back into the box. Horton, one of the best characters in this Pilots team, always jovial. Found out earlier today that his walk-up song at Stevens was the Whopper Whopper Burger King theme song. The 1-2 cued foul on the first base side. Still 1-2, third straight foul ball off Horton's bat. Yeah, Horton said when he pinch hit off the bench and that song blared over the speakers, the bullpen and dugout proceeded to go crazy, as one would surely expect. 1-2 the count to the big third baseman leading off the fourth in a 2-0 game. Winzinger comes set, fires the 1-2, and Horton goes down swinging. He chases the fastball above the letters for strike 3. And Aaron Winzinger begins his evening with the K. Jack Caridi digs on in, left-hand hitting first baseman batting 6th. Winzinger comes set, working quickly here in the 4th. Fires the first pitch home. It's a fastball cut on and missed by Caridi. 0-1. Caridi came to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs, the last bastion of hope for the Pilots in the first. Struck out on a 7-pitch at-bat against Connor Byrne to retire the side. The 0-1, wave and a miss at a fastball below the knees, and it's 0-2. That was the best chance the Pilots have had to score today. They've had just 1 base runner since. That was a single by Kevin Hager leading off the third. 0-2 pitch. Up and away with a fastball, 1-2 to Caridi. Entered play hitting 149. Winzinger comes set. And twists and deals. 1-2. Chopped foul straight back, and we'll do it again. Aaron Winzinger enters play with a 5.72 ERA, making his 5th appearance of the season. Pitched 11 innings. So far, struck out 12. 1-2. Curveball in the dirt, 2-2. Walked just 4 batters in those 11 innings and allowed 11 hits. His last appearance came 8 days ago against the Phenoms. Pitched 2 innings and was tagged for a couple of runs. 2-2 the count to Caridi. Here's the pitch. Up and away, ball 3. And for the second time today, Jack Caridi works a full count. Tony Silva waits on deck. Pilots looking for base runners, down 2-0 with 1 out in the 4th. Winzinger from the stretch, the 3-2. Up and away, ball 4. Caridi lays off and works the walk. He wasn't even that aware. That was ball 4. Waited an extra beat for the home plate umpire to give him the pass to go to first. Then flipped off his shin guard and got rid of his bat. And he's aboard on at first base. Pilots have a 1-out base runner. Caridi on at first. Winzinger out of the stretch again. His first pitch home to Tony Silva is popped foul straight back out of play. 0-1. Pilots having some good at-bats against Aaron Winzinger here in the 4th. A 7-pitch battle for Horton. Another 7-pitch battle for Caridi. 0-1 the count to the right-hand hitter Silva. Winzinger deals. And Silva watches the breaking ball bend below the knees. 1-1. Silva grounded out to short on the first pitch he saw from Connor Byrne in the second. Big lead on at first for Caridi. And Silva will call for time. Winzinger toes the rubber on the first base side. Out of the stretch, the 1-1. Silva reaches for it, pokes it to right. Carvelli has it lined up, shaded towards the line, makes the catch for out number 2. So Silva retired. Caridi's still aboard at first. And up comes Robert Clawans, left fielder hitting 8th. Winzinger out of the stretch. Peers in towards his mitt. And now deals the first pitch home. And Clawans goes around in the check swing he offered at the high fastball, and it's 0-1. I saw Clawans arriving this afternoon with a huge jug of water, well equipped for the 90-degree heat. The 0-1, fastball high 1-1, joked about it, said he has to be prepared for the sweltering conditions here, 90 degrees and plenty humid. Blue skies, no signs of thunderstorms at least yet. The 1-1, Clawans swinging a foul chip off a read at the plate, and it's 1-2. Clawans batting here with 2 outs and a runner at first here in the home half of the 4th inning. Pilots trail the Generals 2-0, game 1 of the 4-game set between these two sides. Generals scored a run in the 2nd, added another in the 4th. Pilots had their best chance in the 1st, bases loaded, nobody outs, but could not score. 1-2 the count to Robert Clawans. Winzinger deals home. And Clawans takes it. Strike 3 called. Got him with the slider on the outside corner. And Winzinger out of the bullpen works a scoreless 4th. We're through 4 heading to the 5th from Doc Young. Pilots strand 1. No hits, no runs, 1 left. 2-0. Generals with the lead. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field. 2-0 Generals here in the top of the 5th. Hayden Strychar is still rolling, getting set for his 5th inning of work. They'll face 2, 3, and 4 in the Generals lineup. Beginning with the first baseman, Aiden McNelly, who's proven trouble for Strychars today. McNelly got a single in the 1st and walked in the 3rd. First pitch home from Strychars in the 5th is a fastball that snaps in on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Strychars deals. The 0-1 lifted in the air right field. Miller angles over in the gap, has it lined up. He'll make the one-handed catch for out number 1. Well, Strychars threw 60 pitches through the first 3 innings, but ever since then, the Generals have been swinging away. It was a 6-pitch 4th inning through 5 batters for Strychars, which was nearly unheard of, and now got a 2-pitch out to open the 5th. So a total change in approach is benefiting Strychars here as he works in the 5th. First pitch to Reeder sails up and away for a ball, 1-0. Chris Reeder has taken an 0-4 today, but he's one of the best hitters in the ACBL. Entered the day top 10 in both average and hits. Lines this one towards center. Stone in the sun. Waits for it to come down in right center and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs on 4 pitches for Strychars, who continues to move along here in the 5th. He's now set down the last 4 batters he's faced. And Danny Cyprian, the third baseman, will step into the box. Right-handed hitter. Strychars standing on the mound, ready to go. He likes to work quickly. First pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch in at Cyprian's feet. And it's 0-1. Strychars in a total groove right now, working with 2 outs, nobody on. The 0-1. Swing and a miss under a high fastball, and it's 0-2. 2-0 Generals here in the 5th. Strychars revving to go on the mound. Waits for Cyprian to step back into the box. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Hello, Hayden Strychars. Easy breezy, 1-2-3 against the heart of the Generals order. Generals, no runs, no hits, none left. Up 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. 2-0 Generals as the Pilots get set to bat in the home half of the 5th inning. First of 4 between New Jersey and Trenton, taking place this afternoon on Monday, July 3rd at Doc Young Field on the campus of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. Next game slated for Friday at Moody Park in Ewing, and then a doubleheader on Saturday also at Moody to round out the series. I'm Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. Thanks for listening to Pilots Baseball from wherever you are on this Monday evening. Aaron Winsinger has completed his warm-up pitches, and the right-hander's ready for his second inning of work. He'll face 9-1-2 in the New Jersey batting order, beginning with the right-hand hitting designated hitter, Cole Palmieri. Winsinger stands from the first base side of the rubber. He's ready to go. Palmieri digs into the back of the batter's box. Winsinger from the stretch. His first pitch of the 5th is a fastball that tails up and in for ball 1. Palmieri worked a 9-pitch at-bat against the Generals' starting pitcher, Connor Byrne, in the second inning. Ultimately struck out, but fouled off 4 pitches once the count went to 2-2. The 1-0. Inside, Palmieri started to go, but shoots his hands back, holds off the swing, and it's 2-0. Palmieri, then Hager and Dodabo here in the 5th for the Pilots. And a mound visit upcoming, a rare mound visit mid-at-bat, as the Generals coach walks on towards the mound to check in on his pitcher, Aaron Winsinger. The home plate umpire is out there as well. I believe they're looking at the conditions of the mound. Right in front of the rubber, all 3 men are towing with what seems to be the divot created on the surface of the mound and where Winsinger lands, following the release and follow-through of his pitch. Playing with the dirt a little bit. And now the meeting will end. So Palmieri takes a few more practice swings. And the home plate umpire does indeed confirm my suspicion. They were fixing the hole. Unclear if the situation has been resolved. Now, Pilots coach Mike Kalb is out conversing with the home plate umpire as Palmieri and Winsinger just wait around, ready for a signal. 2-0 Generals here with the Pilots batting in the bottom of the fifth. Generals scored once in the second and once in the fourth on a wild pitch and an error off of Hayden Strychars. Pilots had their best chance to score back in the first, loaded the bases with nobody out against Connor Byrne, who was able to twirl some magic and retire the next 3 hitters in succession to retire the side and end the threat. So 2-0 Generals is where we stand right now. Just waiting to get going, and the home plate umpire stepped back in. He's put his mask back on. Winsinger is on the mound, Palmieri into the box, and we're ready to resume play after the brief delay. 2-0 the count to the right-hand hitting Palmieri. Winsinger's pitch. Fastball misses up and away, ball 3. So Palmieri in the driver's seat, ahead in the count 3-0. Winsinger slings it home. And that fastball grooved down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Pilots have had 5 base runners today through 4+ innings. Palmieri looking to become the 6th. He chops one foul wide of third down the line, 3-2. Aaron Winsinger worked a 21-pitch 4th inning. His first inning on in relief, scoreless frame, worked around a 1-out walk. Looking for similar success in the 5th. The 3-2, low and away, comes in the dirt, ball 4. Palmieri flips his bat, and he's aboard at first with the leadoff base runner for the Pilots. Aaron Winsinger does not walk many. That's just his 6th walk in 12 innings pitched. 2 of those have come today. Kevin Hager digs in, right-handed hitter. First pitch, flashes bunt, pulls back, and takes a letter-high strike with the fastball, 0-1. The third baseman, Cyprian, playing about even with the bag at third. We've seen Tyler Stone bunt for a hit so far today. The 0-1. Bunt is off, and Hager cues it back to the backstop, 0-2. Hager's been on base twice today, reached on an error in the first, and singled down the third base line in the third. Both his batted balls hit to Cyprian at third base. Winsinger ahead in the count, 0-2. The pitch, breaking ball, fisted foul, first base side, sailing into the seats, and it stays 0-2. Ethan Dadabo, left-hand hitting catcher, waits on deck. Generals up 2-0 with Winsinger working with nobody out in the 5th, and Cole Palmieri aboard at first after the walk. 0-2 the count. The pitch to Hager. Popped up, first base side foul, and it sails over the Pilots' dugout out of play. So Kevin Hager working a nice turn at bat. Winsinger has 2 strikeouts, but he's also labored, throwing a lot of pitches. Horton had 4 foul balls against him, and now Hager with 2. Here's the pitch, and Hager fouls that one straight back my way, so right on cue. Stays alive, fouling off yet another pitch. 3rd straight foul ball off the bat of Kevin Hager. We'll see if he can iron something out here. Palmieri aboard at first with nobody out. Pilots looking to break through in the 5th. Winsinger from the stretch deals the pitch, and it's low and away. 1-2 to Kevin Hager. Winsinger working from that first base side of the rubber. That back right foot just barely clipping the rubber. He toes the slab, twists and deals. 1-2. Hager lines this one back towards center. This will hang up for DeClerico, who reaches up and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 out. Palmieri still aboard at first, and Ethan Dadabo, left-hand hitting catcher, climbs in. Dadabo 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out in the third, bumped up to the number 2 spot in the order this evening. Normally hits 5th or 4th. A sign of trust by Pilots coach Mike Kalb. Winsinger from the stretch, first pitch, fouled off left field side, 0-1. Winsinger with a short and compact motion. There's a long hair that twists into a fury as he deals home. The 0-1, there goes Palmieri, the pitch up and away for a ball, the throw down on a hop, scoots on by the shortstop Mott, who was covering. The second baseman, Christian Mott, able to back up the throw to prevent that ball from going into center field, but Palmieri with the stolen base and gets the Pilots a runner in scoring position for the third time today. Aboard at second, 1 out, and 1-1 the count to Didabo. Tyler Stone waits on deck. Winsinger comes set, looks towards second, deals the 1-1, and Didabo takes a curveball low and in, ball 2. Logan Mott, the shortstop, shaded the closest towards Palmieri, but no one's really paying him much attention on at second base. 2-1 the count to Didabo. Winsinger deals, and it's lifted in the air left center field, slicing away from DeClerico in the gap. It's the left fielder Wright who has it measured up, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Wondered for a moment who would get to that ball. Wright had an easier path, and he ambled over to put it away. The 2 out now. Palmieri on at second, and Tyler Stone coming to the dish. Stone, the number 3 hitter, has come to the plate with men on in all 3 of his at-bats today. Winsinger from the stretch as Palmieri leads off second. First pitch to Tyler Stone. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Stone came up with men at first and second in the first and reached on a bunt single. Came up with Hager on at second and the third and flew out to center. Winsinger looks towards second, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Pulled the rug underneath him on a changeup, and it's 0-2 to the Pilots' best hitter, and one of the best hitters in the ACBL. Looking to come through and get the Pilots on the board, down 2-0 in the home half of the 5th. Winsinger readies. The 0-2 to Stone. Up and in off the knob of his bat, a foul ball. And in those plays where it's in and tight and you hear a sound, the first tell, whether it's off the knob of the bat or the hand of the batter, is the player's reaction, and Tyler Stone did not so much as flinch. 0-2 the count. Winsinger deals. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Reeder slaps the tag on Stone to retire the side. So Pilots strand another. They waste the leadoff walk. We're through 5 at Doc Young. Pilots trail 2-0. We'll be back on the Pilots Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. 2-0 Generals on top. Pilots trail here in the top of the 6th. Hayden Streichars at 73 pitches. Readies for his 6th inning of work. Left-hander toes the slab. He'll face 5, 6, and 7 in the Generals batting order here in the 6th. Timmy Wright, right-handed hitter, first man to greet Streichars in the 6th. Wright 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Streichars with the first pitch home, and he gets the breaking ball over on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Streichars has been very economical with his pitches as this game has moved along. Into the windup, the 0-1. And right takes a fastball below the knees for a ball, 1-1. The left-hander was at 60 pitches through 3 innings, and while he allowed just 1 run over the course of those 3, the 1-1, up and away with a fastball, 2-1. And he was not exactly cruising, sidestep a lot of trouble. The 2-1. Fly ball right field. Miller in the sun. Started back, now comes in and makes the one-handed catch for the first out of the 6th. And with the Pilots unsure of how many pitchers they have behind Hayden Strychars here in the 6th, 60 pitches through 3 was a little concerning. But then the Generals started swinging furiously, early and often attacking the pitches that Strychars threw them. Here's DeClerico. First pitch, belted in the air towards left. Easing in his claw-ons in the sun, and he'll make the running catch for out number 2. So right on cue, that's what the Generals have been doing, swinging at everything Strychars has thrown them. He threw 6 pitches to 5 batters in the 4th, 7 pitches in a 1-2-3 5th, and now 5 pitches, 2 outs here in the 6th. Generals up 2-0, but Strychars suddenly able to give the Pilots length. First pitch to Cristino is a breaking ball that comes in the dirt, 1-0. And in that 4th inning, 4 separate General hitters swung at the first pitch. Here comes his 1-0. And that one loops in the dirt, 2-0. So Cristino showing some restraint at the plate. Batting with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th. Generals on top 2-0. The 2-0. Breaking ball slurves in for a strike, and it's 2-1. Cristino 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles. Strychars deals. Gets that curveball over for a strike at the top of the zone, and it's 2-2. It's not quite a 12-6 hook, more of a slurve from Strychars. The 2-2. Right down the middle, strike 3 called. Hayden Strychars keeps on cruising. Set down the last 8 hitters he's faced. Works a 10-pitch 6th. 1-2-3, down go the Generals. Pilots looking for offense. Down 2-0, coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field. 2-0 Pilots trail to the Trenton Generals. Set to bat in the home half of the 6th. Third pitcher of the day, towing the slab for the Generals. The new pitcher is the big 6'5", 215-pound right-hander, Gavin Kinks. Set to make his 2nd appearance of the year. He's pitched just 1 inning. And that was way back exactly a month ago on June the 3rd. Allowed 1 run and walked a batter and did not allow a hit and picked up a save in a 6-4 victory over the South Jersey Kings. Kinks will contend with the heart of the Pilots' batting order with New Jersey down 2-0 here in the 6th. It'll be Miller, Horton, and Caridi, 4, 5, and 6, up for Mike Caleb's Pilots. And that starts with Nate Miller, right-hand hitting right fielder, batting cleanup. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of strikeouts. Kinks stands on the first base side of the rubber, looks around at the defensive alignment surrounding him, now eyes home for the shine. The first pitch from the right-hander out of the stretch is a fastball below the knees for a ball. 1-0. Gavin Kinks will be a sophomore at Arcadia University in the fall. 1-0. Miller chops it foul wide to third. 1-1. 6'5" is what he's listed as. Looks a whole lot taller than that as he stands on the mound. Nate Miller steps back into the box after the foul ball. 1-1 the count. Kinks deals. And Miller swings and foul tips that one right off the catcher Reed. 1-2. Miller's left 4 men on through 2 at-bats today, looking for a reversal of fortune here leading off the 6th. Pilots trailing 2-0. New Jersey's stranded 6 base runners through 5+ innings today. Kinks with the 1-2. Breaking ball lofted in the air towards left. Right shades his eyes amid the sun, waits for it to come down, and makes the one-handed catch for the first out in the 6th. That'll bring up the third baseman, Liam Horton. Now, Gavin Kinks is not from Egypt. And you're wondering why I might clarify that he's not from Egypt. Well, he's from New Egypt, which is apparently a place in New Jersey. The New Egypt resident stands on the first base side of the rubber, stretches home the first pitch to Liam Horton, and he spins in a nasty curveball for a strike, 0-1. Had Horton bending back out of the way before dropping home the 12-6 hook. 0-1 the count to the Pilots' third baseman. Kinks with the deal. And Horton chases the fastball outside, and it's 0-2. So Gavin Kinks showing some good stuff, facing the meat of the Pilots' batting order here in the 6th in a 2-0 game. The 0-2. Fastball hammered deep left field, right angling towards the line, and foul territory, slides, and it lands beyond his reach. A foul ball. Well, we mentioned earlier in the game, there's a lot of foul territory outside first and outside third here at Doc Young. But once you get into the corner way down the right field and left field line, there's probably no more than 15 feet or so. And Wright could hear the sidewall as he was running to his right. Decided to go into the slide rather than opt to try and make a running catch and perhaps tumble over. And the ball landed untouched. And Horton back in the plate, calls for time. Kinks fires it home anyway. It was another curveball. Horton with a smile on his face looking back home thinking, oh, thankfully I called for time there. I wasn't going to hit that one. And now it's Kinks' turn to step off. 0-2 the count. Long pause by the pitcher Kinks. He twists and deals. And Horton swings through the curveball, strike 3. He went right back to the well. Fans Horton for the second out in the 6th. So 2 out, nobody on. Gavin Kinks dealing in relief. Byrne worked 3 scoreless innings. Winsinger worked a pair of scoreless frames, and now it's Kinks. First pitch to Jack Caridi, and the left-hand hitting first baseman takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Caridi batting with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th. Pilots down 2-0. Kinks deals. That fastball sails up and away, 1-1. Caridi's worked a pair of 7-pitch at-bats so far today. He struck out in the first, walked in the 4th. 1-1 the count. Kinks, the big right-hander, comes set and now fires home. And the curveball loops inside. Caridi shuffles his feet out of the way, 2-1. Kinks also has an at-bat this season. He's 0 for 1 that also came on June the 3rd. So he hasn't played in a month. He's making a spectacular return so far. 2-1, rip and a miss at a sinker. dipped below the knees, and it's 2-2. Tony Silva would be next if Caridi can get something going here for the Pilots in the 6th against the big right-hander, Gavin Kinks. 2-2. Just a little bit low. Kinks walking towards his dugout on the third base side. Thought he had that one. But the strike zone tightened with a screwdriver, and it's 3-2. Caridi's already walked once today. Finds himself in another 3-2 count. Third full count in as many as bats. Here's the pitch. Upstairs and a little bit inside, ball 4. So after thinking that he had struck out Caridi on the previous pitch, Kinks loses the first baseman to a base on balls. And the Pilots have a two-out base runner in the 6th with Tony Silva, right-hand hitting second baseman, climbing into the dish. Silva, free swinger, 0 for 2 on the day. He's only seen 4 pitches across 2 at-bats. This is the third pitcher he's facing. And he takes the first pitch breaking ball low and away for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And Silva fouls that one off at a plate on the first base side, 1-1. Silva entered play batting 167. Has 60 at-bats. That's most on the team. 10 hits are also up there. Tied for second most on the Pilots. Third most, rather, with Ethan Didabo and Connor Dreyer. Despite that 167 batting average. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball right center field. Back goes the second baseman, Moat, and he reaches up to make the backpedaling one-handed catch to retire the side. Pilots strand another base runner. 7th runner they've left on today. We're through 6 at Doc Young. 2-0. Generals on top. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Pilots trail the Generals 2-0 here in the top of the 7th. Hayden Strachar's day is done. Through 83 pitches across 6 innings of 2-run ball, fared very well. The offense did very little to help him out, and now it's JT Abruzzi's turn on the rubber to try and keep this game at 2-0. Abruzzi position player by trade, has just 3 at-bats this year for the Pilots. And it'll be a position player pitching for New Jersey, presumably the rest of the way. Logan Moat, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, digs in. Abruzzi's first pitch to him is a fastball bunted into the mitt of Ethan Dodabo for a strike. 0-1. Abruzzi will be a freshman at Keene University in the fall. 5'9", 170 pounds. Deals home the 0-1. That one spiked in the dirt. 1-1. Flanders, New Jersey native. The 1-1. Golfed foul right field side, hooking out of play. 1-2. Pilots are no strangers to having a position player pitch. Kevin Hager, Connor Dreyer, Cole Palmieri, Nate Miller, all among those who have thrown for the Pilots this year. Abruzzi with the 1-2. Popped foul straight back, and we'll do it again. Fifth pitch of the at-bat coming to Moat. And he flies this one to left. Hager coming out. Clawan's in, and it's Clawan's, the left fielder, to make the catch. Thank you. Pinch hitter here for the Generals is Landon Friedman, right-hand hitter. He'll bat for the second baseman Moat and the 9-hole. 1 out. Nobody on in the top of the 7th. 2-0 Generals on top. First pitch. Tails inside for a ball. 1-0. Down the middle for a strike, and it's 1-1. So Abruzzi pumping in strikes, and this is what Mike Kalb tells his position players when they toe the slab. Just throw strikes. The 1-1. Spins over for a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Abruzzi with a pause, now comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped foul over the Pilots dugout down the first base side out of play. The 1-2 in the dirt. Friedman, the pinch hitter, lays off, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 in the dirt. 3-2. Friedman off the bench has worked a full count. Top of the order looms next, beginning with Carvelli. This is a batter Abruzzi would love to get here. 3-2 in the dirt, ball 4. And Friedman comes off the bench and works a walk. So here comes Robbie Carvelli, right-hand hitting right fielder, batting leadoff, 0 for 3 on the day. Abruzzi out of the stretch, first pitch home, rides a little high with a fastball, ball 1. The 1-0. Swinging a foul tip into the mitt of Dodabo, and it's 1-1. 1-1. Lifted foul, right field side out of play, 1-2. Friedman the runner at first with 1 away in the top of the 7th. Generals up 2-0. You're in game 1 of the 4-game set between the Pilots and Generals. Chopper towards third. Hager charges, goes to second for 1. Silva to first, not in time. Carvelli beats it out with his speed, but a nice play by Hager to erase the lead runner. There are 2 outs now. McNelly at the dish. Right-handed hitter climbs in. Carvelli at first. There he goes. The pitch is outside for a ball. Dodabo will not make a throw down. And so Carvelli's speed makes an impact. He beats out a double play ball and then steals second at the first chance he gets. Runner aboard at second with 2 outs. Right-hand hitting McNelly at the dish. Abruzzi looks towards second and now deals home, and it spins in on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1, or 1-1 rather. McNelly's been on base twice today with a single and a walk, each against Hayden Streichars. Abruzzi, the first man out of the pen for the Pilots, looks towards second, now deals the 1-1, comes in the dirt, blocked nicely on the backhand by Dodabo, and it's 2-1. Two and 1 the count. Abruzzi with the pitch home. Up and in with a fastball, ball 3. Three and 1 the count. Abruzzi deals. And it's a little bit low, ball 4. McNelly works a walk. He's on for the 3rd time today. And the Generals have 2 men on with 2 outs for Reeder coming to the dish. First pitch, fastball inside corner for a strike to the catcher, Chris Reeder. 0-1. Runners at first and second here for the Generals in the top half of the 7th. Abruzzi deals, and he misses low with a fastball, 1-1. Trenton looking to add to what is a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 7th. Generals scored a run in the 2nd and a run in the 4th off the Pilots starter, Hayden Streichars. Carvelli leads off second, McNelly off of first. 1-1 the count to Reeder. Abruzzi deals, and he clips the inside corner with a fastball for a strike, 1-2. Abruzzi with a firm fastball for a position player. 1-2 the count to Reeder. A long pause from Abruzzi, and time is called. One and two the count. Runners lead off first and second. The pitch. Line left field, base hit. Carvelli to third. He's going to be held there as Klawans gets it in on a fly to Dodabo. What a throw from Robert Klawans. And even with Carvelli's speed and there being 2 outs, he can't come around to score. We saw Klawans throw out a runner at a plate earlier in the game. And that likely played a factor. So base is loaded, 2 outs. And it's Cyprian, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Left-hand hitter digs in. First pitch from Abruzzi is golf to first, foul down the line. 0-1. A 1. Swing and a miss at the off speed. The 0-2. Swinging a high chopper towards second. Silva waits for the hop. Throws it to first in time to retire the side. Abruzzi strands the bases loaded. Keeps this a 2-0 game as we head to the bottom of the seventh. Pilots down 2-0. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field at the campus of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. 2-0 Pilots trail. New Jersey still trying to get its offense going here in the bottom of the seventh. Blanked so far by 3 Generals pitchers, and the last one has been the most impressive. Gavin Kinks back out for his second inning of work. And they'll face Robert Klawans, the right-hand hitter. And the first pitch fastball gets the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to Klawans. Klawans 0 for 2 on the day. Kinks with the pitch. Breaking ball grounded towards third. This one gloved cleanly by Cyprian. Toss over to first in time to get the speedy Klawans for out number 1. It's been an adventure at third base for Cyprian today. He's had a ball slide under him on the backhand and then booted another one for an error, but he handled that one perfectly. 1 out, nobody on. Pilots down 2-0 in the seventh. Here comes Cole Palmieri. Takes the first pitch breaking ball up and away for ball 1. Palmieri has had 2 great at-bats today. He struck out in the second on 9 pitches. Kinks with the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big swing by Palmieri, who gets down on a knee. And it's 1-1. And then Palmieri worked a 6-pitch walk in the fifth. 1-1. Oh, there's that breaking ball, and it misses just a little bit high. 2-1. A great hook featured by Kinks. 2-1 the count to Palmieri. Here's the pitch. Fastball chopped towards third. Fielded on the backhand by Sorelli. Long throw to first. Got him by half a stride. Oh man, what a play by Cyprian at third. flashing the leather with a beautiful backhand pick and the long throw in time. So Cyprian tested twice this inning and he fields with ease. That'll turn things over to the top of the order. Kevin Hager, right-hand hitting shortstop, climbs in. 1 for 3 on the day, reached base twice, also on an error. Takes the first pitch fastball below the knees for ball 1. Two nothing Generals here in the 7th. The 1-0. Hager bouncing ball to third. Cyprian handles it even with the bag. Long throw is true. Have an inning. Danny Cyprian. 3 chances, 3 beautiful plays to retire the side. Pilots go down 1-2-3. Generals coming to bat in the 8th. Up 2-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. 2-0 Generals. Here from Doc Young. Pilots shut out through 7 innings so far today. Generals will look to add on a couple of insurance runs as they bat in the top half of the 8th, and they'll do so against a new Pilots pitcher. It's the it's the same pitcher. JT Abruzzi still on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Abruzzi relieved Hayden Streichars, who tossed 6 innings of 2-run ball. Abruzzi stranded the bases loaded in the 7th. And now he'll go out for more in the 8th, facing 5, 6, and 7 in the general batting order. Jimmy Wright, right-hand hitter, left fielder, digs on in, 0 for 2 of the day with a walk. Abruzzi working from the stretch. His first pitch home to right is a fastball that comes in 50 feet to the plate. Hops in on a couple of bounces, and it's 1-0. Wright to Clerico and Cristino. 3 hitters due up for the Generals here in the top half of the 8th, up 2-0. Abruzzi's pitch, fastball. That one clips the knees for a strike. 1-1. We've seen a very low strike zone today called by the home plate umpire, but it has been consistent. The 1-1. Just below the knees with the off speed. 2-1. Abruzzi with the 2-1 pitch. Popped up, left field. Clawan's over in the gap with the center fielder Stone. It's Stone who calls, and he'll make the catch for the first out here in the 8th. So here comes DeClerico, right-hand hitting center fielder, climbs on into the box. Of the 4 outs that Abruzzi has gotten today, 2 have been pop-ups and 2 have been ground balls. So no tell yet on what sort of pitcher he is. First pitch to DeClerico is lifted in the air to left. Clawan's on his horse, racing back, looking up, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Caroms into the ivy and left. Then DeClerico coasts into second with a 1-out double. Well, Bob Clawan's is a very good fielder, a center fielder by trade. Battling Sun in left field. He was on his horse, but that one struck really well. He wasn't going to get to that one. So 1 out. To Clerico on at second, and Greg Cristino, right-hand hitter, coming to the plate. Abruzzi toes the rubber, looks towards second, and deals the first pitch home. And it's a fastball laced to center field. Stone has it measured, drifting back, makes the catch with one hand for a hard second out. Tyler Stone plays a really fine center field, and he had that one lined up all the way. So JT Abruzzi has now induced 5 outs, yet to allow a run. And the latest installment of position player pitching for the Pilots is going quite well. Logan Moat, right-hand hitter, steps on in. To Clerico aboard at second, with 2 away now in the 8th. Pilots down 2-0. Abruzzi's first pitch is fly to right. Miller angles toward the line and in, waits for it and makes the one-handed catch to retire the side. Well, if that inning is any indication, JT Abruzzi is a fly ball pitcher. Works the round, the 1-out double to pitch a second consecutive scoreless frame. 2-0 Generals. Pilots looking for offense. Coming to bat in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back. You're listening to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field. 2-0 Generals on top. Pilots set to bat in the home half of the 8th. Looking for a rally here. It's getting late in the opening game of the 4-game set between the Pilots and Generals. Generals scored once in the 2nd, once in the 4th, and that's been all the scoring so far today. Generals set to throw out their 4th pitcher of the evening. The other 3 have been prolific, and now it's Max McGrady's turn. The 6'2", 215-pound right-hander toes the rubber right in the middle, completing his warm-up tosses just now, making his 6th appearance of the year for the Generals. He's thrown 9 innings, scattered 11 hits and 8 walks, and struck out 13 batters to the tune of a even ERA of 6. Last pitch, June 29th against the Matrix, 2 scoreless innings. Allowed 3 hits and struck out 2 across 9 batters faced. McGrady will look to follow up 3 scoreless frames from Byrne, 2 scoreless from Winsinger, and then 2 scoreless from Kinks, and have combined so far for a 7-inning shutout. And Max McGrady will face the meat of the Pilots' batting order, leading off the 8th, 2, 3, and 4, beginning with the left-hand hitting catcher, Ethan Dodabo. And Dodabo climbs on in. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single to right back in the 1st. Looking to jumpstart a rally for New Jersey, batting in the home half of the 8th. McGrady's first pitch home is a fastball that rides up and away for ball 1. Good velocity on the fastball by Max McGrady. He plays collegiately for Holy Cross. Out of the windup, the toe tap and the pitch. Fastball outside and high, ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Way upstairs, it trickles off Reed's mitt into the backstop, ball 3. So 3 fastballs, neither of which have landed anywhere near the strike zone. And Max McGrady still trying to adjust, facing his first batter of the evening here in the 8th. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees for a strike, 3-1. See what Dabo does here. McGrady with a breath into the windup, the 3-1. Fastball, golf, center field, hit well. This one's chasing DeClerico back. He's turned around, falls down, dives, and makes the catch. Oh, what a play. Jake DeClerico got all twisted around in center field, right shy of the warning track, lost his footing, reached up blindly, and made the grab for a long first out. And it's been just that kind of day for the Pilots this afternoon. 2 sensational defensive plays for the Generals now in the last 2 innings. Now, nobody on, 1 out. Pilots trail 2-0. Tyler Stone steps in and takes a first pitch fastball, low and away for ball 1. Stone 1 for 3 on the day. This is his first time coming to the dish without a runner in scoring position. McGrady's 1-0. Inside fastball, check to swing, went around, and it's 1-1. Nate Miller waits on deck. Pilots looking for the heart of the lineup to come through here, down 2-0, with a 1 out and nobody on in the 8th. McGrady's 1-1. Breaking ball lifted in the air, right center field. DeClerico in the gap, calls off Charvelli and makes the one-handed catch in right center for out number 2. So last inning, it was a busy frame for Cyprian at third. Handled 5 threes on 3 consecutive plays. Now it's a busy inning for DeClerico, the center fielder. A couple of F8s to begin the evening for Max McGrady. The first pitch from McGrady to right-handed hitter Nate Miller is chopped foul up the third base side, 0-1. Miller is 0 for 3 on the day. The Pilots just looking for base runners first. Then they could start thinking about bringing them home. Down 2-0 with 2 away in the home half of the 8th. McGrady's pitch. Breaking ball just above the letters for a ball, and it's 1-1. Liam Horton would be next if Nate Miller can keep the inning alive for New Jersey. Here's McGrady's 1-1. Fastball, a big swing and a miss. Miller falls down to a knee a la Adrian Beltre after swinging under that pitch. And it's 1-2. McGrady pumping gas, looking for a 1-2-3-8. Into the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball pulled foul down the left field line. Miller out in front, and it stays 1-2. One and two the count to Miller, pitch number 5 of the at-bat. McGrady twists and deals. Slider outside, Miller checks his swing, but he holds in time. And it's 2-2. Miller entered the day as a .261 hitter, just 1 for his last 8. McGrady comes home with the 2-2. Miller lifts it foul, first base side. McNelly in foul territory, hoping for a play, and he makes the one-handed catch with plenty of room to spare to retire the side. Pilots go down 1-2-3 in the 8th. No runs, no hits, none left. Generals up 2-0 as we head to the 9th. You're listening to Pilots Baseball on the Pilots Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Well, JT Abruzzi has pitched so well, 2 scoreless innings, that he's out for a third here in the ninth. The position player turned pitcher relieved Hayden Strychars after 6. Stranded the bases loaded in the 7th, worked around a 1-out double in the 8th, and now he'll face 9-1-2 in the general batting order here in the 9th as he looks to keep this a 2-0 game. Mike Doran, the pinch hitter, right-handed hitter, steps into the box. Pinch hitting for Friedman here in the 9th spot. Takes the first pitch fastball, low and in for ball 1. Abruzzi's faced 10 batters. He's retired 6 of them. The 1-0. Chopped foul at the plate, 1-1. He's been real steady for the Pilots. Had only 3 at-bats this year. And if he's able to complete this inning, he'll have thrown as many innings as he's had at-bats. It's an important frame here for Abruzzi, and we'll tell you why in just a second. 1-1 the count to the pinch hitter Doran. Here's the pitch. Looped in the air, shallow center. Hager out, Stone in, and it's Stone the center fielder who makes the running catch for the first out in the 9th. Well, the Pilots trail 2-0 here with 1 away in the top of the 9th. They have not had much hitting today. Stranded the bases loaded with nobody out in the 1st. And since then, have managed to leave 4 base runners on. And they've had the last 7 retired in order. Abruzzi's first pitch to the right fielder, Carvelli. Comes in low and away for ball 1. The Pilots looking forward to the bottom of the 9th. We'll have Horton, Caridi, and Silva. They have not scored in 2 games now. The 1-0. And Carvelli fouls it straight back. That would have gone right into my window. The protective netting not been there to live up to its name and protect me. I ducked again. I feel obliged to tell the listeners when I duck. 1-1 to Carvelli. Up and in, and it is boxed around. Clipped off the knob of his bat, actually, and it's 1-2. So anyhow, Abruzzi would really like a scoreless inning here. 2 runs is a big deficit for the Pilots. 1-2 comes in low, 2-2, and any more than 2 runs would just be a difficult feat, the way the Generals are pitching and the way the Pilots are hitting of late. 2-2 the count to the leadoff hitter, who golfs one in the air right side. It's the first baseman Caridi calling all the way, makes the two-handed catch a couple of feet to the right of first base for out number 2. So 2 out, nobody on, and the first baseman Aidan McNelly climbs on into the box. He's reached base 3 times today. Abruzzi's first pitch, fastball, comes in low, 1-0. McNelly singled in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and walked in the 7th. Also flew out to right in the 5th. Abruzzi from the stretch, the 1-0. At the knees for a strike, 1-1. 2-0 Generals here in the top of the 9th. Trenton looking for insurance. 1-1. Line to 3rd, fair ball going down the line. Clawan's over to his right to cut it off. Rounding first is McNelly on his way to 2nd, and he's going to be a dead duck. He'll try to run back to 1st. Silva wins the foot race. Oh man, have a day in the field. Rob Clawan's, his 2nd outfield assist of the afternoon, sends us to the bottom of the 9th. Generals on top, 2-0. We'll be right back on the Pilots Baseball Radio Network. Welcome back to Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. Jared Greenspan here with you from Doc Young Field on the campus of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. Pilots trail the Generals 2-0 here in the last of the ninth. Final chance for New Jersey's offense to crack through in this one. They'll have to face Max McGrady, who stands on the mound tossing warm-up pitches, set to commence his second inning of work. 5, 6, and 7 due up in the Pilots' batting order. It's Liam Horton, Jack Caridi, and Tony Silva for a New Jersey offense that has mustered very little so far today. In fact, the Pilots have just 2 hits and none since the first inning. Ethan Dodabo lined a single to right. Tyler Stone notched a bunt single up the third base line. Pilots had the bases loaded and nobody out, could not score. Since then, Kevin Hager also had a single in the third. No hits since the third. Jack Caridi had a walk in the fourth. Palmieri had a walk in the fifth. Caridi had another walk in the sixth. And that was the last base runner for the Pilots. 4 Generals pitchers have really shut New Jersey down. Liam Horton will look to get the rally going for New Jersey in the ninth. Down 2-0. The big right-hand third baseman steps on into the box. Max McGrady, the 6'2" right-handed hurler, toes the first base side of the rubber. Working out of the windup, the toe tap and the spin. First pitch home to Horton is a fastball fouled off at a play down the first base side. 0-1. Horton's had a tough day at the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Those memories could be erased should he get on base here. McGrady, who's been dealing strikes, ahead in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch. And he misses low and away right on cue for a ball, 1-1. McGrady came in for the bullpen in the 8th, induced 3 pop-ups. Here comes his 1-1 to Liam Horton. Fastball in the dirt, ball 2. Burns started this game, pitched 3 scoreless innings. Winzinger, 2 scoreless out of the pen, followed by Kinks, who did the same. And now it's McGrady working in his second inning. The 2-1 is low, ball 3. Liam Horton, who has 14 walks to lead the Pilots, could really use one here. 3-1 the count. McGrady's pitch is chopped foul straight back to the backstop. 3-2. His 14 walks for Horton are good for top 3 in the ACBL, along with Ethan Dodabo, his teammate. 3-2 the count. Big pitch here. McGrady into the windup deals. And Horton sends one high in the air, left center field, hit really well. Right going back at the track, at the wall, reaches up and makes the catch for a very long first out. While Horton gave it a ride, it's about 345 feet where Timmy Wright made that catch. And I'll say Liam Horton drove that one 335 or so to left center for a long first out. So here comes Jack Caridi. Pilots have 2 outs left to play with, down 2-0 here in the last of the ninth. Caridi's been on base twice today with a couple of walks. McGrady out of the windup, deals the first pitch home, and it's a fastball that skips into the plate, 1-0. Tony Silva next as the Pilots look to scrap together a rally here. (1-0) to Caridi. Slashed foul left field side, 1-1. One and one the count to the left-hand hitting first baseman. Bats with 1 out and nobody on in the ninth. The 1-1. Right down the chute for a strike, and it's 1-2. Max McGrady ahead in the count, 1-2. Looking to shut down the Pilots here in the ninth. Here's the pitch. Inside goes to the backstop. Caridi shuffles out of the way, and it's 2-2. Generals up 2-0. Trenton scored a run in the second on a wild pitch. Added another in the fourth on a throwing error. And that's been all they've needed today. With the rate their pitching staff is going. 2-2 the count to Caridi. Here's the pitch. Lined foul left field side, sailing into the seats. We'll do it again. Caridi's had a number of good at-bats today. All 3 of his prior plate appearances have gone full. This one at 2-2, 5 pitches deep. The 6th, breaking ball, well high, ball 3. And Jack Caridi, for the 4th time today, has worked a full count. He is working pitchers this afternoon. And this is the 4th different pitcher he's faced. McGrady's 3-2 offering. Up and away, ball 4. Jack Caridi works another walk, his 3rd of the day, and just like that, the Pilots will bring the tying run to the plate, down 2-0 in the last of the 9th. And it's Tony Silva, right-hand hitting second baseman, who climbs on in, takes one more practice cut, now digs in his cleats. Caridi leads off first, no one paying him much attention. McGrady's first pitch home to Silva. Fastball, swing and a miss underneath the high cheese, and it's 0-1. Robert Clawan's on deck for the Pilots, 1 away in the last of the 9th, New Jersey down 2-0. Caridi leads off of first, Silva the tying run at the plate. The 0-1. Fastball fouled off right field side, tailing into the seats, and Silva in an 0-2 hole. Horton worked a full count to begin the inning and lifted a long fly ball to left that was reeled in. Caridi worked his way out of a 1-2 hole and earned a walk. Now it's Silva, down in the count, 0-2. McGrady with the hold. Twists and deals. And Silva punches one left center, falling fast, overcomes DeClario, and he makes the catch. That one hung up just long enough for the center fielder to get on his horse and run that one down. And the Pilots are down to their final out. Robert Clawans will climb on in. Clawans has had a great day in the field with a couple of outfield assists from left, but he's 0 for 3 at the plate. 143 hitter represents the tying run. McGrady from the windup, or from the stretch. His first pitch is a fastball at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Caridi's on at first. He worked a 1-out walk. There are 2 outs and an 0-1 count to Robert Clawans. McGrady out of the stretch. The 0-1. Fastball just off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Clawan's not a whole lot of power. There's no home runs in the year. Does have a couple of doubles. Cole Palmieri would be next. Caridi leads off of first. And Clawan's calls for time. 1-1 the count to the Pilots' left fielder. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Late on a fastball, and it's a 1-2, and the Pilots are down to their final strike. McGrady standing on the mound. Looks on home. Now peers towards first. Comes set. 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Clawans chases the high pitch, and that'll do it from Doc Young. The Pilots drop the series opener to the Generals 2-0. They're shut out for the second consecutive game. Thanks for listening to this presentation of Pilots Baseball on the New Jersey Pilots Radio Network. I'm Jared Greenspan saying so long from Doc Young Field. Pilots drop the opener 2-0. And thank you, as always, for listening.